My name is Ellen, I'm 17 and I am chairperson of Dublin City Comhairle and Nogue for this year. We are a group of 63 elected young people and every year we work on a working topic that's selected at our AGM in Croke Park. Our latest AGM was in November of 2019 and the working topic that was selected was climate action, which came as no surprise to anybody. Young people are very passionate and very vocal about this topic and we are all very excited to start working on it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to adapt our way of working like many others did. We decided to stay focused on connecting online with each other and with other young people. As a group, we've kept in touch via Zoom, we've done meetings, we've been using emails, texts, group chats and WhatsApps as well to try and make sure everyone is staying involved and staying engaged. We wanted to keep a message of positivity going and we also wanted to keep the voice of young people alive and active during this time. So we paused our working topic of climate action for a little while as it was very difficult to work on something during a pandemic that we felt wasn't as frontal anymore. So we decided to take a step back from that and start working on other ways to engage with young people during that time. So we decided to take a bit of a different direction and I'm going to talk about some of the things that we've been working on when the new normal started. So some of our members took part in our Dublin City Daily Diary campaign. Each person came onto our Instagram story and just talked about some of the things they were doing to help maintain their mental health during isolation or lockdown, some of the hobbies that they've started to do, books they've been reading, things that they've been struggling with themselves and how they've helped to overcome those obstacles while in lockdown and during isolation, and just to show other people that there's ways you can overcome these things and ways and different things you can do to help maintain your mental health during this time. We shared baking tips, we shared tie-dyeing tips, hobbies, books, films, a lot of different recommendations that came from members of Dublin City Comhairle and Nogue and also from people who were following us at the time. We shared tips on how to mind your mental health during this time. When online school started, people still had to do schoolwork, adapt to how to use all of these online resources and also not have the benefit of seeing their friends in person, which was a lot to take on for a lot of people. So we made sure to share these tips on our social media platforms, which really helped people, I think. We also shared our favourite quotes and we shared films and books, as I said. We took images on our 2-kilometre walks when the radius was that low and we walked around, took images and placed them on our stories and on our Instagram and Twitter and shared them for everyone to see, which I think a lot of people enjoyed. And we planned Instagram takeovers, so we had Ciara Fanning from the ISSU, which is the Irish Secondary School Students Union, and she came along and just talked about a bit about what they're doing and a bit about how they're ensuring that young people's voices are being heard during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we also had Chris's Anam Dum, who is a bit of a Gaeilgeoir. He is an influencer and he shares a lot of content on Instagram and on TikTok, which a lot of people really engaged with and enjoyed. He answered a lot of the questions that people had, which was very good. And currently we are running a giveaway. We just finished our 5-kilometre photo giveaway. People went around in their 5-kilometre radius and took pictures of nature. We had butterflies, flowers, trees, beaches, and we chose 2 winners. Each winner got a hoodie and a bottle for life, and we will be doing 2 more giveaways. So yeah, that's going to be a very enjoyable thing to ensure people that are staying engaged. And we're going to be working with CIPSI, which is the Children and Youth Services Committee. The project is in the early planning stages at the moment, and a subgroup will be working with them and focusing on the voice of young people during COVID-19. Personally, I think that young people have been very vocal during this time, and I think that they've helped ensure that their voices weren't lost in the crowd of all the shouting during the pandemic. They wrote to ministers, we wrote to TDs, we wrote to everyone to ensure that we were taken care of, especially the 6th years and the 5th years at the moment. We're being very vocal and ensuring that our concerns are being taken on board. It's been a different time for everyone, but I think that we've adapted very well. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Beth and I'm the Vice Chair of Dublin City Comhairle, as well as I work in climate activism. I just turned 17 and I live in Dublin City. So I'm going to update you on our working topic of climate action. So we've started to work on our topic again throughout the pandemic. We had a Zoom meeting on the 21st of May to discuss what we could do, and we have various subgroups working on the different ideas that we have. So Niamh Ní Chulmáine from Caro, which is the Climate Action Regional Offices, and Kate Jones, who's the Feroga Youth Participation Officer, were also there to help us develop our ideas and to make sure that what we were doing was based in the facts. So We're looking at a few different things. The first thing we're looking at the moment is a climate Zoom meeting. So basically what we would do is we would get young people from all over Dublin to come on and talk to decision makers, so members of the council if possible, in order to give their input on plans, perhaps break into different subgroups to look at different areas like energy, waste, the various areas that are covered in the climate plans, in order for young people to examine what's being done and to give their input through this digital format. So even if they're at home, they can still get involved with the decision-making process and have their voices heard. So that linked in with the themes of the Dublin City Climate Change Action Plan, and we were looking at doing this event in September or kind of around that time. So we would love any support from the council on this, in terms of who it would be great to have a number of different groups of people involved. So councillors, Dublin City Council officials, young people from Dublin Comhairle or from the Fingal and South Dublin Comhairle, because this is a whole Dublin issue and it would be great to have as many young people as possible. And secondly, we wanted to create a youth message online. So we have a subgroup working on the different messages. So they're working on messages on the following: rubbish being dumped, which is a big issue at the moment, face masks and gloves, and rubbish not being picked up. We're seeing a lot more waste on the streets, and how to make a mask easily in order to be safe and in order, for people to protect themselves. And finally, we have a website subgroup. So there's a lot of information out there on climate action, but it can sometimes be hard to find all of it. So we want to put together a list of websites that young people can access to find out about climate action. So this is where we're at. We're working, but in a very different way. We've been adapting to it. Meeting over Zoom is really different. We do really look forward to being able to meet as a group in person again. So being a young person throughout all of this, it has been quite challenging, but I think we have seen young people adapting. We're still getting our voices heard. We're still talking about climate because the issue hasn't gone away. And I think the events and the things that we're planning are a really great way to continue to reach out to young people and continue to have young people's voices at the fore of decisions being made. So thank you for listening to myself and Ellen. And if you have any questions, please forward them on to Mary Mooney, who's our coordinator, and we will get back to you. Thank you, and I hope you're all staying safe.